Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to introduce how to do HTTP request using JMeter. Now let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is to go to the website and download JMeter. Now, once the JMeter is downloaded, go to the folder and open the bin folder, and use the terminal to run JMeter. Now we have our JMeter opened. What you will see on your left hand side is a test plan. A test plan is like a wrapper. It should include all of the tests that are related to each other. And in our case, it will be 4 HTTP requests, including GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE. And it will also include a thread group which contains all of the simulated user. Now let's create a thread group first. So a thread group, we can name it Test for Spring Boot application, because in our case, we are going to use a Spring Boot for our web service for testing. So in the middle, you will see that there is a number of threads and also the loop count. The number of threads means the number of simulated users the JMeter will create for us, and the loop count means the number of requests each user will send. So in our case, there will be a total of 100 requests sent to our web service. Now let's create a new HTTP request. This request will be a GET request to get all of the employees through the web service. Since I am using Spring Boot as our web service, it is hosted at HTTP localhost 8080, and also for the path is API/employees. Now let's add some listener. So here I'm adding 3 different listeners. One is the tree report, one is the summary report, and the other one will be the table report. Listener will record all of the test results so that you can analyze what is happening to your web server, and this can provide some business value. One example is that your manager may want to know how long does it take for a user to get their response if there are 100 requests being received at the same time. Now let's open up our backend and try this out. As you can see here, now our backend is running properly. Now let's run our JMeter test. As you can see here, the test is successful, and for each request, we can click in the tree report and see the detail of the response data of each request. So for this example, the latency is 1000 and the response code is 200. Now let's take a look at summary report. As you can see here, there are a total of 100 samples. When there are 100 requests to send to the web server at the same time, minimum number of milliseconds is 9 and the maximum is 1100. And we can also get the average and standard deviation of this. Now let's talk about results in table. In this table, each row represents a HTTP request, and each column contains the detail of each request. Now let's add another sampler. This sampler will be a HTTP request, which is get by ID equal to 2. Now I have added 3 samplers here. Let's run and see the result. As we can see here, the result is pretty similar to the first HTTP request. The summary report, the view result tree, and also the view result in table. Now let's talk about post request. The part about the HTTP request is pretty straightforward, very similar to our previous 2 requests. The only difference in here is that we need to add a body data. Here, the body data contains the detail of the object that I want to create it in my backend. Since we have a body data here, now we need to add a HTTP header manager to tell the backend the content type and accepted data type. Now let's add the 3 listener, and also don't forget to put your HTTP header manager under your post request. Now, as we can see here, there are 100 data being created by the post request. Now let's add a put request. The put request is very similar to the post request. So let's copy paste the body data content from the post and paste it in the put body data. But one thing to be noticed is that we need to add an ID here so that the put request knows which object they want to update it. And now let's add the 3 listener here. Also, we need the HTTP header manager, and we can just copy paste it here. The test result looks good. Let's take a look at delete. Delete is a tricky one because we need to know the ID of each deleted data. And to do that, I need to introduce an object called counter. To use the counter in our case, I will leave a variable in the path. So as you can see here, the variable name is delete ID. Now let's add the counter under this request. The name of the counter can be everything. Here I will use delete ID, and the starting value will be 100. So the first one will be delete is ID equal to 100, and for each one after this until 200, all of them will be deleted. The thing we need to pay attention to is the exported value name. It have to match the name that we use in the past. Now let's add the listener summary report and tree report. Since the exported variable name we used is deleted underscore ID, here let's change it in the path. Now let's run the result. As we can see that the result looks pretty good. But let's double check it by using Postman. By doing a get all request through Postman. As we can see here, from 99, the next value is 200. So it means that the delete is successful. And that's all for how to use JMeter to do HTTP request. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you.